Today, people don't buy properties, they buy branded properties because it gives them the confidence.
Adds trust, of course, and also the return on investment is higher, basically.
Big time. The trust, ROI, and even the long-term capital appreciation. Resale had not gone anywhere, it's just that the off-plan took the spotlight.
Knowing your buyer is key. In Dubai, most of the transactions are made with the Asian market. Today's guest will reveal the roadmap to success with this demographic profile. Welcome, Ravi. Ravi, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Federica. First of all, thank you very much for having me here. It's my pleasure. My name is Ravi Mansukhlal. I'm a real estate consultant with Apex Capital Real Estate. I've been in the business for a few months. I've been in Dubai for over 43 years and pretty much lived all my life here. And been with the corporate world for about 20 years in the marketing division.
Ravi, you've been in marketing, right?
That's
You've been a marketing director with Majid Al Futtaim.
That's right.
Which is actually coincidentally the company I still work for. So it's nice to have a fellow muffer or ex-muffer here.
Yeah.
So I think your experience in marketing is something really good and gives you a good advantage in this very competitive market. So can you share how this helps you and how this can help the personal branding of an agent, yeah?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, more than the marketing, the fact that I worked with the organization like Majid Al Futtaim and Dubai Holding later on, professionalism is sort of built into me. Customer centric is not something, an afterthought, but more like in my DNA. And that combined with my personal values for honesty, ethics, is definitely gives me the edge. Now, when it comes to marketing, definitely it helps me. Now I'm in a field where I'm competing with 31,000 agents in Dubai alone. And if I want to stand out, I need to have my own brand. And that's where marketing helps me, creating my own personal brand. And more importantly, how I can be creative in storytelling and positioning, be it whatever the properties that I'm actually working on.
Branding and storytelling are, I think, a very good point to lean on in nowadays market, and also a lot of developers are doing so with the branded residences, right?
Absolutely.
What's your take on branded residences?
Absolutely, and you've touched a very good point. I mean, today people don't buy properties, they buy branded properties because it gives them the confidence. And we have seen that time and again with developers like Emaar with the JW Marriott brand, or Vida Palace address, be it Bingati with the Jacob & Co. and the Mark with Chelsea Residences. We have seen that the branded residences get almost 20 to 30% more rental yield and also the capital appreciation because people have the faith in the brand, and that just helps the industry.
Yeah. Do you think that all the branded residences are the same? I was just listening to something one day and they were talking about the different type of branded residences, right? So there are branded residences for branded from hospitality chains, okay, like Marriott, Vida, etc. But there are also branded residences from fashion designers or so on. So what's your point of view on this?
I wouldn't say that all the branded brands are the same, but I can tell you one thing for sure is that branded versus the non-branded is a big difference. You see that, yes, 100%. That's about 20 to 30%. Now, depending on the brands, how strong they are, where they come from, the history of that brand, what have they done in the past, and if at all the brand has any presence in the market, that helps significantly. Emaar have done quite well with Vida and Palace because they've time and again proved not just by constructing them, but also people have seen how much those properties have appreciated and the rental yield it has given in the last few years.
Okay, so it adds trust, of course, and also the return on investment is higher, basically.
Big time. The trust, ROI, and even the long-term capital appreciation.
In terms of buyers demographic that you target, I understood, speaking with you, that you have a big percentage of Asian buyers, right? So can you share with the audience what's the preferences of this type of buyers, what they're looking for, and in general, what's the amenities, let's say, that we need to have in a property to appeal to these kind of buyers?
Yeah, so I work with all kind of buyers, but we've seen this in Dubai. The biggest market is the Indian segment. There are two kind of customers, the clients. The ones that are looking for just investment purpose, or the ones that actually are looking for a home as the end user. When it comes to the investors, again, they know the game really well. So there are the ones who are only looking for areas or properties that gives them the high ROI. What's important to them, those investors, is the numbers, is the hard numbers, what it brings on table at the end of the day. And of course, the quality and the developer is also very important. Now, when you talk about the end users, it's completely shifts. They don't start with the numbers. It is important at the end of the day, but more important is the community, the areas. When it comes to the house itself, the layout itself, it needs to be spacious. Number one, it needs to be Vastu friendly. Most Indians would not even view the apartment or the house if it's not a Vastu friendly apartment. And you'll be surprised, apart from spaciousness, they also prefer closed kitchen. That's very important for the Indian families. They need a maid's room, and most Indian families, if they're going for the townhouse or the villas, they want a bedroom on the ground floor, because most of the Indians have a joint family structure. They have their parents living with them, and they prefer to give the ground floor one bedroom for the parents.
Wow, okay, a lot of information. Let's start. Let's start with Vastu compliance. So yes. I hear this word a lot. Can you tell us what it is?
Absolutely. For everyone, Vastu is basically the Indian science of architecture. It is to do with the energies, how the energy flows within the house.
So it's a feng shui.
100%.
For the Indians.
Yes, absolutely. Feng Shui and Vastu are very same at the core of it. It's all about how the energy flows within the house. It is basically where the bedroom should be, where the kitchen should be, which direction your main door should be facing.
Exactly. I know that the entrance is very important, right?
100%.
So what's the direction of the door?
So the northeast direction is considered to be very, very good for them. But again, the reason why people only look at door in this part of the world, because here you're not building it from scratch. So you're kind of buying something that's ready. So at the most, what you can actually do is at least buy something where the door is facing the right direction. But if it was the case where they could actually construct from the beginning, then they would probably go much deeper into the Vastu, where the kitchen should be on the left or the right, and bedroom should be in that direction, etc. So here, people just start with at least it's facing the right direction.
Okay. So at least the entrance is
yes.
oriented in the right way. Inside, I'll try to organize my house as Vastu compliant as possible,
That's right.
But at least the entrance is a good sign.
That's right.
But is this a religious thing, like this Vastu, or a cultural thing?
Vastu is a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. In fact, you'd be surprised that many of my Europeans and American clients also are looking for a Vastu-friendly unit. Because, as I mentioned, it's all about the energy flow. It's all about, so people want to move into a house where they know that there will be harmony, peace, and calm and happiness. So Vastu is mainly to do with that. So it's not just restricted to Indians anymore. It's actually, transforming to other parts of the world as well.
Very interesting. I think that if there is a big science behind it that is embedded in the culture, Vastu or Feng Shui, I think there is a truth behind it, right?
Absolutely. In fact, there are a few clients of mine who will never book anything until and unless it's been signed off by his Vastu compliant Vastu consultant. So as a matter of fact, like next week, he's arriving here with his Vastu consultant. We're going to go to the developer's office and see what options are available, and the consultant will guide him which one is a good one, and then we'll book that apartment.
Wow, that's a lot. I thought it was just a matter, okay, I prefer the entrance here, but no, it's actually like
it is.
The full house.
Some of them take it very seriously, and which is what, again, we've seen that lately. Developers also understood that, and if you'll go and see, some of the off-plan units are also now advertised with whether it's the Vastu compliant or not, so they understand that. And more importantly, now the developers are creating a lot more variations in terms of the floor plan, so that it could fit into those Vastu compliance.
Yeah, because I think the Indian demographic is the number one.
It's the biggest.
Yeah, it's number one. So it's the biggest buyers that the developers have. They have to cater specifically for them. Okay, in terms of so we spoke about the spaces inside the house. In terms of amenities and communities, what's something that these kind of buyers prefer?
So in terms of the amenities, what more than the amenities, what they'll really like is of course the safety and security of a gated community.
Okay.
They love the proximity to schools and workplaces. That's important to them. They don't like to spend a lot of time on the road. More than all of that, it's how the social circle in that community, whether they would be able to meet with other people, fellow Indians, and celebrate. Like I've seen recently in many communities, including Tilal Al Gaf, Diwali was celebrated big time. And so they look for the social circle.
What's your take on the market for the next year, and what you think is going to be like the preferred areas or the next hotspot?
The market is only going to continue to grow, whether it's the off-plan or the secondary. We're seeing that when it comes to the long-term investment or the ROI, everything is gradually shifting towards Dubai South. We've seen that in the last 2 years, how Emaar South has grown. Dubai South is growing big time, and now with the launch or the handover of the Mark Lagoons, we can see a lot of traction on that side. Everyone is aware of Maktoum International Airport. Everyone knows. I mean, it's like today you talk to anyone, they know that the airport is coming over there. And now everyone learned about the fact that Dubai is going that side. So I would say that the market is shifting towards that side. And in most part of the older Dubai, there are only very few plots left. It's Rashid Yachts and Marina is one of them. You still have your Dubai Creek Harbor, which is still has a lot to offer, but when it comes to Dubai Hills Estate, you're talking about it's almost 80% ready or constructed. There's only about 20% left. So people who are into investment, they know that if you want to really make good return on or get the maximum capital appreciation, go to the area or the location where it's not saturated and it's still far, or the beginning. So I think those are the areas for future.
With all these off-plan launches that are going to be handed over next year, do you think that the resale market will gain momentum again in 2026?
Let me correct you over here that resale never went away. It's just that lately, because of too many new projects, off-plan just took the spotlight. But the resale was always there. It's still there, and it will continue to be there. I mean, you have to understand that off-plan is catering to the future market, the 3 to 4 years from now, the future demand. Resale is catering to the current demand. And let's say today, all the off-plan project that has been launched in the last few years and this year, in the next couple of years or 3 years from now, they'll be back in the market for resale closer to the handover and or for the secondary market. So resale had not gone anywhere. It's just that the off-plan took the spotlight.
I think I agree with this approach. Last question. 1 minute mindset tip for whoever wants to invest in the real estate market in 2026.
I actually have 2 different messages for 2 different kind of people. Those who are actually are trying to collect certain funds and ensuring that they have certain savings to do the down payment. I'd like to tell them that reach out to property consultant. I can recommend somebody. and at least start understanding the market, start understanding the trends, know what's available in the market, so at least you can narrow down your options. Also reach out to the mortgage consultants. When you're ready in 2026, you have enough savings, you know what to do next. It will be much faster. And the other message is for the people who have the funds but are waiting for 2026, thinking that the market would slow down. I just want to tell them the market is not going to slow down. You'll just end up paying much more than what you could pay right now. So don't wait and get into the market ASAP.
So I think it's a lot of food for thought for whoever is watching us. Thank you so much for being with us, and see you soon.